Welcome back to Pete's Classic Cycle. Pete here, and what we have here today, something a little bit different from my channel, but it is a 1972 Kawasaki F9 350 Bighorn. Kawasaki's big bore two-stroke dirt bike of the day, and I'm so excited to have this bike. I know it's something a little bit different than I usually feature, but what made this bike so special, what made me want to get it, is the fact that it is a one-owner, low-mile survivor. Now, although 1972 wasn't the first year for the F9, it was, in my opinion, a special year because Kawasaki reworked a lot of the issues found on the first generation. One of the big ones, of course, was the carburetor, newly designed with the float bowl in a different orientation. It's got an upgraded clutch, a few changes with the gauges, obviously the graphics, and overall, they basically just took all of the complaints from the first generation and refined them and made a better overall bike. So like I said, I bought it off the original owner. He got it brand new in 1972. It's only got 1,400 original miles on it. And I gotta say, as a collector's standpoint, that is the absolute dream scenario. It doesn't get much better than that. Being an off-road bike, most of these are beat up and abused, you know, ridden hard, put away wet type scenario. It's just a beautiful, clean survivor. So when you're tackling a project like this, you'll often find a lot of thick, caked on grease and crowd around suspension and exhaust areas, which can be very tedious to get off, which is why I like to use a really high quality solvent to really break through that grease and grime. And the one I'm going to be using today is the SPECTRO suspension cleaner. This stuff works awesome. It's literally designed for exactly this purpose. So I'm going to go ahead, spray it on, let it soak into that grease. So once I do the final wash in a couple minutes, hopefully with a bit of scrubbing, all that dirt and grime should come off with no sweat. Sorry for the rude interruption. I just want to take a quick second to thank those who support Pete's Classic Cycle, such as SPECTRO Performance Oils, Rick's Motorsport Electrics, and most importantly, all of you for following me on this journey, watching these videos, subscribing. I couldn't do it without all of your support and encouragement. So thanks again. Now back to the build. So a quick rundown of how I'm going to go ahead with washing this bike. You already saw I sprayed down the greasy areas with the SPECTRO suspension cleaner to help break down that grime. And as far as everything else goes, I'm going to use a nice foaming touchless car wash. Reason being, it's very safe on the paint and materials. The foam actually draws the dirt off of the bike itself, so there's a lot less chance of you scratching and marring anything, and it's just kind of a friendly way to get all the dust and grime off the bike. Doing the initial wash to kind of prime the surface, maybe knock off any loose stuff. Now here goes the foam. Now we're just going to go ahead, let that sit for a minute, do its work, and draw the dirt off of the bike. So again, a lot less work and a lot more friendly on the bike itself. Now fast forward a few months, the Bighorn is back out of the garage. You last saw when we were washing the bike, and it is looking a lot better from when we first got it covered in all that dust. But what I'm doing right now is pre-planning, that very important stage that I talked about in my last YouTube video on the Fastbagast H2. Now what I mean by pre-planning is taking a quick overview of the bike, kind of coming up with a general parts list, and getting a good idea of what you want the final product to be. So first things first, looking at parts that need replacing, start with the big stuff. So obviously broken turn signal, seat cover, you know, the mud flaps, they're missing off the front. So big things like that, they're gonna have to be replaced. Do we need to tackle the bodywork? Do we need to tackle any of the major components? Then kind of moving on to a closer look, we've got the other little details, things, you know, like the chain tensioner. Can that rust clean up? Should I re-chrome it? Should I replace it? Or should I just leave it as is? Well, that leads me to the next question is, how far do you go with a project like this? And that's a very, very important thing that you need to decide on before starting a build. And what I mean by that is that these projects can often get carried away. So say you polish the side covers, for example, next thing you know, your kickstart's a little dirty, and then all of a sudden that doesn't look very good next to the kickstart. And then your seat cover doesn't look good next to that, and before you know it, you've got the entire thing stripped down, full nut and bolt restoration. I've gone down that road many times. So having a good realistic plan of where you want the finished product to be before you start is a very good and responsible and fiscally responsible thing to do, because you can very easily get sucked down that rabbit hole. This bike is completely all original, only 1,400 miles on it. So do I want to take away that original patina? And we also have to keep in mind that this is a dirt bike after all. It's going to get ridden, it's going to get dirty, and there's a chance I could slip in the mud, tip over, even bounce off a tree. So these are all things to consider when starting a bike like this, because I wouldn't want to take a perfect trailer queen into the trails. So with that said, I'm going to finish looking the bike over, make up a nice list of parts, and I'll see you next in the garage. We're ready to tackle this build. Well, the Bighorn is in the garage, it's on the left, but unfortunately that is where I need to leave you today. I did, however, just spend a small fortune on parts, which should be arriving within the next week or so. And the reason I say small fortune is because when you've been playing with H2s and bikes of that higher caliber, parts are so expensive. So to switch gears and work on something like this, it's really quite refreshing, but it's also a bit of a trap where new old stock parts are so available and so cheap, you end up buying more of them. So I got some really cool parts coming in. A lot of new old stock stuff is coming on this bike to freshen it up. So stay tuned, and as always, please ride safe.